Welcome back, and we're here with City Councilor of Ward 1, Jason Nichols, and we're going to talk this segment about the new improvements that are happening all over Tahlequah, and primarily the ones downtown. We noticed that if you're going down through the Main Street or Muskogee Avenue, you see all these little cement curbs out in the middle of the street, normally called bump outs, and a lot of people that don't stay up with things until they actually see it happen might have a few questions. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what's going on?
Okay, well, those are these bump outs, as you call them, and that's the term we generally use around the office. They are probably the first visible sign, first visible manifestation of some of the tax money that people voted in by about a 60-40 margin a year ago, April. There was a tax that we split with the schools, 60-40. The city gets the 60% share, and that gives us about $4.8 million to put into various projects, about $300,000 of which is going out here to these bump outs. There are about 22 of them spanning the 7 blocks that we generally consider the downtown area, taking up roughly 24 parking spaces. Some of them are double spaces. Now, and of course, that's where the contention comes in. Some people are concerned that there's going to be parking issues downtown with the removal of those spaces, and it's a legitimate concern. But we still are very proud of how they're going to look when they're done, and we're hoping that we'll be able to alleviate any problems that might crop up as we near completion.
So how will give us an idea of what one of the bump outs will look like in a finished product?
Well, generally they may vary a little, but the single space bump outs will have, most of them will have a bench, some kind of planter, we'll have a tree, some combination of those things, trash cans, trash receptacles, and those kinds of things. Everybody's seen them now. They've got kind of I don't want to call it semicircular, but you've seen the shape. And we're hoping to get actually a handicap ramp on one on the far north end of town, on one of the double spaces near Granny's attic. But they will hopefully provide some greenery for the downtown area.
Well, I know that I have seen these in other towns as I've gone across the country and traveling and stuff like that, and they're just beautiful. Mm-hmm. It really makes a quaint, very homey, and it just really greens up the downtown and really makes it inviting for strollers, for people wanting to shop, and it just kind of keeps your downtown alive and vibrant. And I think it's going to be wonderful myself. And yeah, I might have to park one space down a little bit, but I think that we can all overcome that for a little beautification.
Well, I really think that the answer to a lot of the parking concerns, and this is something that I haven't taken to any of the other members of the council, but I hope at some point to be able to propose the purchase and utilization of some lots just off of Main Street for some city-provided parking. We put a nice hedge around it and hopefully provide a few dozen more spots up and down Main Street or Muskogee Avenue to help kind of address some of these concerns of the business owners downtown.
Well, and I think that can all be worked out. What are some of the other projects that are in the same tax?
In the tax,
mm-hmm.
In this same tax, we actually are working on 3 different roads. We have West 4th Street, East 4th Street, West Allen, and East Ross. All of those are going to have significant sections turned into 3-lane roads. We're spending about $500,000 on each of those roads for a total of about $1.5 million. And we also have a $2.2 million sports complex that we're going to be putting out north of the industrial complex on West Allen. And then finally, we have a $600,000 fire station that's going to be put in out the Southridge area. So we're getting quite a bit done. We're able to start construction immediately because we were able to take advantage of some Build America bonds. They were part of the stimulus package about 1.5 years ago, and they subsidized the interest rate we have to pay on those bonds, and it's really helped us get started a lot quicker and use the money a lot more effectively than we'd hoped when we even originally set the tax up.
Well, I know that the Allen Road especially will help us get to that sports complex, mm-hmm. and having that all widened and everything will be really, really good. Tell us a little bit more about the sports complex, because that's very exciting and so needed for our young people.
Well, it's we just finalized it was 2 nights ago, last Monday night, we finalized the master plan. It's going to include 6 soccer fields, a football field, tennis courts. A lot of people are going to actually be very excited about the eventual, it's not necessarily in this first phase, but the eventual water park and splash pad and those kinds of things that are going to go out there on that southwest corner of it. It also will have a walking trail, and we have an initial set of 4 baseball/softball diamonds. We hope to expand that with maybe the purchase of some more land later on, but for now we've got those 4 out there as well. So it's going to be a big project, and it'll be kind of a crown jewel of our recreational facilities for quite a while. So.
Well, that's a good place to have it too, because ingress and egress is so great there, and there's no constraints on parking and getting there, and that'll also give a permanent home, hopefully, for the soccer people, because I know we have just moved all over Creation with the soccer fields, and it will be nice for them to have a home. When do they intend to break ground?
Well, we have, it depends on how you define breaking ground. We've already moved quite a bit of stuff around out there, dirt and otherwise, trying to prepare. But now that we've got the master plan finalized, I think we should be able, we don't have an official date, but hopefully before, well, or maybe next spring, we'll actually start doing some major work. So that's the target.
That's the target. And so what will they begin first? The splash pads, or will they go right into the soccer?
Soccer field's going to be first. Phase 1 are going to be the soccer fields, and I say yay too. I was involved with the local soccer club for many years, and we have been kicked around. What we used to play on what is now the West Bypass. Before that, we were on what is now used for softball fields in Phoenix Park. Now we're using borrowed land in the industrial authorities section of town, and we really need to get out from under that, and this will help us. It's just right across the street, but it makes all the difference in the world, and we'll be glad to have those 6 fields rather than the standard 4 that we have now. So. Well,
and for those people who don't have young children that play, this is a big retirement community, and for those people who their kids have grown up and they don't really realize what's going on because they don't have to utilize it, when you play competitive sports like in soccer and you travel to other towns and stuff like that, some of these places, they're not much bigger than Tahlequah or as big as Tahlequah, have these wonderful complexes to play. And then when you invite them to Tahlequah and they see our facilities, it's embarrassing. And so I think this will really make the kids just give them so much pride in where they play and maybe even how they play.
Sure, I think it will. I think it'll inspire them. And one of the great things too, and you mentioned if we get a nice facility, not only can we invite people for one-off games with some of our 12-year-olds against their 12-year-olds from Coweta or whatever, we can actually call in several towns at a time to have tournaments, and those people come into town and spend money. So the sports complex also needs to be viewed as a chance for kind of stimulation to the local economy. I mean, where you can pull in hundreds and hundreds, or maybe even thousands if you're really lucky, of people to come spend money here in Tahlequah. So.
Well, I think that it's good utilization being on the west side with the airport and the business park and all of that. I just think that it's a wonderful opportunity to just really grow that area of town and to really make it a showpiece for Tahlequah.
Sure. As
you come in. Well, what else is going to take place?
Oh gosh, you know, that's about all the issues from the tax, but of course we've still got our pretty standard. It's been tough lately. The economy has really bitten into the city's ability to do very many capital projects outside of what was approved with that tax. But I do want to mention that we're all very proud of the fact that we didn't have to furlough anyone. We didn't have to lay anyone off. Nobody's services, that I can't think of a single service that had to suffer because of this economic downturn, and that's in sharp contrast to a lot of other communities. I mean, even Tulsa had to turn off their streetlights in some places and crazy things like that. And we never approached that scenario, and we're really proud of that. So I know that's not an answer to what you asked, but we are proud that we were able to avoid that. So.
Well, when I show new people coming to town, there's so many areas that I'm very proud to show them that really highlights, and they're really excited and surprised to see that we have so much stuff going on in Tahlequah, that we have growth and work and new construction and everything. It's like, wow, the economy didn't hit you guys. And I said, well, it did, but we were able to manage it and work with it. And it probably didn't hit us near like it did a lot of people, or a lot of cities, but I think the city managed very well.
We did, and to even think outside the bounds of the city. I mean, you see the schools doing a lot of work with expansion at the high school, expansion at Greenwood Elementary, and the construction of a new, soon-to-be new elementary school out at Southridge. I think they've decided to name it Heritage. So it's not just the city that's been able to be innovative and be very smart in how they handle their money and resources, but so have the schools and the university and those kinds of things. So.
Well, it's good to see that. I give Tahlequah an A+, and I'm glad that you're a part of that, Jason, and we look forward to great things from you and our city councilors, and go Tahlequah.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll be right back.